Okay, so today we start Unit 3. The topic is exploring new cities. And so this is, in this unit, we're going to talk about the places where you live, how to describe cities, towns, etc. So let's go. All right, so let's see this. We have here four very famous cities. Which one would you like? Okay, which of these options? So today we start Unit. Which of these cities would you like to visit? We have Barcelona, Beijing, Seoul, Sydney. Is there any city of these options that you're more interested in visiting? Like, are you interested in any of these cities?
Maybe Beijing.
Maybe Beijing? Yeah, China. Good. How about Ghostly? Would you like to visit any of these? Barcelona, Beijing, Seoul, Sydney? Seoul. I think I would like to visit uh, Beijing too, if I have the chance. Let's see. So we have very interesting cities. Barcelona. I'm going to start reading this one. It says Barcelona is famous for museums, nightlife, and seafood, and for the architect Antoni Gaudí, who designed several of the city's most distinctive buildings. Most restaurants here stay open until midnight, when many locals are still enjoying dinner. Okay, we have here some vocabulary. It's famous for museums, nightlife, and seafood. Uh, so yeah, Barcelona has, for example, you can find a good paella, tapas. They have very good food. Shrimp are good too. Los gambas, les dicen en España. They are really, really good. Um, I would say the food in Spain is awesome. It's very nice, delicious. On the other hand, in this city, you can find a famous church. I think it's a church. It's called La Sagrada Familia. So La Sagrada Familia is very Gothic style, or I don't know, you call it Barrockian, no sé llamarlo barroco o gótico, but it's very interesting. The design is unique. It's inside and outside. It's just very captivating. Um, bad news, sometimes when you want to take pictures, there's always this crane, siempre está esta grúa, the crane. Y siempre a veces pasa que en las grandes ciudades así, ves grúas por todos lados. in cities, in buildings. Some of the things they say, some of the things they say is that they're always fixing things, they're always renovating things, siempre están como renovando cosas, pero también there's a risk. Well, you cannot get a good picture, right, with the crane, but well, the architecture is beautiful in Barcelona. Okay, so that's one of the cities. Here there is something, for example, you may like or not nightlife. Do you like nightlife? ¿Les gusta nightlife? Do you like nightlife?
No.
Me neither. Yeah, honestly, it's something that doesn't call my attention, and I have friends. I have these friends that say, we do something, and then they are like, oh, what can we do? What can we do after this? Como, ¿a dónde vamos después? Y así, y luego qué hacemos? And they want to go to different places. They want to go to, I don't know. For me, it's very stressing, when you have responsibilities, tienes que trabajar, tienes que, well, you need to be more responsible. You cannot spend all the time from party to party. It's even it's tiring us. It's cansado for me, nightlife. And I don't find like something important. And actually, I consider it something even dangerous, as the nightlife also comes with some dangers, right? For example, you can drink alcohol, and you know that you drink a lot of alcohol, you are in danger. Um, what else? You're exposed to drugs. También estás expuesto muchas veces a las drogas. And honestly, the noise at night, el ruido así en la noche, because these places are very noisy, la música, todo lo que da, all the people around like pushing you, not something that I enjoy, honestly. Like this kind of environment, for me, it's like for avoiding. A lo mejor mucha gente le gusta esto. Me personally, I don't like it at all. Um, I mean, I like going with friends, maybe going to someone's home. Me gusta ir quizá a la casa de algunos amigos. Okay, we can play something, but not going these discotheques or pubs or nightclubs. Never. Yeah. So for me, nightlife is like for me, nightlife doesn't exist. Nightlife is going to my home, sleep, enjoying maybe some tea, and read something, and going to sleep. For me, nightlife, that is nightlife. Nightlife for me is the moment for relaxing. Yeah. Okay. Now let's check this next one is Beijing. Can you please help me, Nubia, to read the information about Beijing?
Yes, teacher. Beijing has many popular tourist attractions, which include the Summer Palace and the Forbidden City. Tourists who come here for the first time are amazed by the crowds, the busy streets, and the constantly changing skyline.
Yeah. Skyline is horizon, horizonte. Okay. So Beijing, beautiful traditional city, also crowded, must be, right? I guess this Pekin, no? Still nice. But if you like futuristic cities, China has a lot of futuristic cities. They also they also keep their temples. They keep the traditional architecture. No sé si igual que Japón, como conservar sus templos y así. But the thing about China is that it's very futuristic. It's like another world. What's the name of this? Forbidden City. Ah, yeah, it's this one. It's beautiful, right? Summer Palace. Wow. Right. Who wouldn't like to visit the Great Chinese Wall? I think it's full of tradition. Okay, let's read now about Seoul. Can you please help me, Goosely, read Seoul?
Okay, give a moment, please, teacher. I need to close the door.
Okay.
Okay. Seoul is well known for its spicy food and the shopping areas where you can find everything from antique is correct?
Antique, yes, exactly.
Antique clothing to custom-made clothing. The Myeongdong area has dozens of shops that sell the latest fashions.
Very well. So, if you like Korean culture, this is the place for you. Korea, right? It's another beautiful place. Seoul, like Asian architecture. It's very beautiful, right? I really don't know many things about South Korea. Other place that I would like to visit, for example, is Japan and see the cherry blossoms. I don't know if in Korea they have it too. No sé si in Korea también lo tienen, but in Japan, this is like some of the landscapes that I want to see. I think that must be out of this world. Debe ser como algo fuera de este mundo, ¿no? Ver un paisaje así con los cerezos, the cherry blossoms. For me, it is one of the things that I enjoy the most about visiting a country is the landscape. I'm a landscapist. So you como un paisajista, I love to explore the landscapes and I love to appreciate them, take my time to see them. More than nightlife and other things for me, this is cool. Well, and also Seoul is a very futuristic city. I think all of these Asiatic countries, China, Japan, Korea, they are first world class countries, right? Son países del primer mundo. The technology they have. Actually, you go to these countries and you go back to Mexico and you feel like we are living in the past. It feels so old fashioned, everything. Just, seeing these pylons, estos postes de luz, con los cables por fuera, digamos, los cables colgando. Eso es algo que cuando comparas, eso ya no existe en ningún país. I mean, and you can go to some very old old cities and find some neighborhoods, but you know que todo está bajo tierra realmente los cables. That's just in order to start, right? No es, obviamente no es lo primero, but there are many things like you see we are you see Mexico, we are like 50 years in the past, es como si estuviéramos 50 años atrasados en cuanto a tecnología. Like we don't have this and the same things. We don't enjoy from the same things. We're still stuck here like 50 years ago using technology from the past. That's something that I also like to see when I visit places. Well, now we have Sydney. Reina, can you please help us read about Sydney?
Okay. I- The place where most tourists go first in Sydney is the famous Opera House. But this Australian city also has great restaurants and museums that springs and fall over the seasons when most people come to visit.
Good. Excellent. Thank you. So Sydney, Australia. When we think about Australia, what comes to your mind? Kangaroos, giant spiders. Okay, this is the Opera House, very famous one. Looks beautiful, right? What I like about Australia is the animals. You know that they fight with people. I've watched videos. These kangaroos fight with people or steal dogs. They're very strong. Koalas, yes. And there are giant spiders. the the animals here are super big. Snakes. Yeah, that's right. Okay. Well, so now you tell me what country would you like to visit? We check for cities. What country, what city would you like to visit?
For me, Ireland or Germany.
Very well. Ireland or Germany?
I will love to visit Canada. Canada.
Canada, yeah. Jerusalem, very well. Although Israel now is a dangerous place to visit, right? It's not easy to go to Israel. I had a friend. He traveled to visit Israel, and he was already in Turkey. So the next day was his flight. Él hizo escala en Turquía y el siguiente día ya era su vuelo a Israel. And that's when he realized, ahí fue cuando se escuchó que había empezado la guerra. So just one day, and he would have been stuck. Se podría haber quedado atrapado en la guerra de Israel. Okay, but yeah, it's a beautiful, beautiful place to visit. Jerusalem, especially is the part, Jerusalem in the, they call it the old city of Jerusalem. It's la ciudad santa. It belongs to Palestine, so it's like divided. Es un territorio disputado between Israel and Palestine, or Hamas. I don't know exactly, but but yeah, it's dangerous. It's beautiful right now. It's dangerous, but it must be amazing to visit this city. Okay. And you said about Germany, Iceland, or Ireland, right? Germany is beautiful too. Ireland too. Ireland has amazing cliffs. Ireland tiene estos castillos, estos como acantilados. They're very beautiful. Yeah. Ireland, it's beautiful. Dublin, Northern Ireland too is beautiful too. You can visit many castles. Encuentran muchos castillos. There are a lot of them. Okay, nos habías dicho, Rina, que what country would you like to visit?
Canada.
Sorry?
Canada.
New Zealand? I'm sorry, there's a lot of noise. Okay. Could you hear that? So we can think about some vocabulary that can help you describe cities, the places where you live. So first it says, what makes a city? What makes a city? So we're going to check this. Are these features of cities more important to tourists or to residents? Ok, ¿qué es más importante de estos que vamos a analizar? Para los turistas y para los residentes. So we have climate. Do you think climate is important only to tourists, only to residents, or important to both?
Important to both.
Excellent. Important to both. Okay. I think, yes, it's important to both. For tourists, because imagine they come, for example, they go to Cancun, but that week is only rainy. So if they come when it's rainy, they won't like it. But also for residents, well, the rain can be bad. Cost of living, do you think is more important to tourists or to residents or to both? What do you think? The cost of living. Yeah, to residents, right? For example, there are places that are considered expensive because they are for tourists. But the fact is that There is something that is called gentrification, la gentrificación. I don't know if you ever heard about this expression.
Yes, teacher.
You know, it's a reality. Eso es una realidad. And you know, even though there are things that change for good, hay cosas que lamentablemente, you know, there are just a few things that can push politicians or government to do something right. When it comes to improve a city, cuando hay que mejorar una ciudad, hay cosas que impulsan o que motivan a los políticos. One of those things are votes. Well, one more other things are money, right? So I think money and votes, that's what they want to go for. So when you have people coming to your city, for example, we see a lot of tourists, we see a lot of residents now. We see Americans, Canadians, French, es gente de todos los países llegando a Ciudad de México. Tú la Condesa, tú la Roma, Polanco, and other places around, right? Incluso a Tepito, que ya le llamaron ¿cómo? Roma Sur, o algo así, le cambiaron el nombre, ¿no? A Tepito para que no suene de barrio. And there they are renting apartments that are way too much expensive. The thing about gentrification, what I was telling you about the politicians, is that somehow it's good, porque cuando empiezan a llegar estos residentes de otros países, so they carry some money, but they need to have a better cities, that tener mejor ciudad, mejor limpieza, muchas cosas. So the government starts doing some stuff and starts improving the city thanks to foreigners. But the truth is that it's very expensive. Rentals get more expensive, si es rentas o si es comprar un apartamento o una casa. Everything, the prices go higher, go astronomically higher. And the problem is that they want to pay that. I mean, for them it's not a problem. Para los extranjeros no es un problema pagar eso. Compared to the prices in the country, comparado con los precios en sus países, vivir en México es una ganga, right? So I had this friend, he was saying, oh yeah, I was paying $3,000 for my apartment in, I think it was in Seattle. Vivía en Seattle y decía que pagaba $3,000 por su apartamento. Can you imagine someone paying for that? But that's a reality. I have other friend, tenía otra amiga que no es rica ni nada, es from Washington, del estado de Washington, and she said she was paying about $1,000, unos $1,000, como 18,000, 17,000 pesos, por su apartamento donde vive. And she was not rich, y ella no era rica, she's a nurse, es una enfermera, but she's not rich. I mean, she's not rich, and you know, these things people have to pay in their countries. Ese es el precio de la vida en esos países. So imagine, they get their dollars because some of them work online, trabajan online. Entonces, traen dólares aquí. Now the dollar is not like really good thing because it's losing its power over the Mexican peso, but now it's something that we see every day. Things get more expensive. You see restaurants, los restaurantes, obviamente restaurantes locales, and restaurants that would charge you everything. Like literally, I have experienced a restaurant donde fuimos a un restaurante que por un vaso de agua nos cargó 200 pesos. It things like you think they're crazy and it's impossible that someone can pay for that. But if you offer them an apartment, for example, this apartment, let's imagine this apartment is 6,000 pesos. Imaginemos que este apartamento es 6,000, cuesta 6,000 pesos. But I have a foreigner that is interested. Tengo un extranjero que está interesado en el apartamento y está dispuesto a pagar 12,000 o 15,000. So what is going to happen? The local, al mexicano, que no está acostumbrado a pagar locuras, lo muevo y dejo que venga el extranjero que me va a pagar más. Just because offer and demand, como diría, la oferta y la demanda. Y pasa que a veces ya ni siquiera quieren a los propios nacionales, sino que buscan a los extranjeros que les pagan más dinero. And this happens with everything, transportation, gas, todo se vuelve más caro. The groceries get more expensive, también hacer la despensa, no hay una gran diferencia. Some people say, I want you to come to Mexico, but the groceries are kind of the same. O sea, nos sale casi lo mismo la despensa, decían, en Miami que en Cancún o en Playa del Carmen. And because these people, they want to buy these things, you know, they don't know maybe the local markets, también están los tianguis, los mercados locales, no sé, escoger Walmart los martes, you know, there are hacks that we know to save money. But gentrification is an important thing, and it's something that is happening now in Mexico, and Mexico is now full of foreigners. México se está llenando de extranjeros, y sí esa es una, podríamos decir algo malo. When I think about immigration, immigrants from poor countries to rich countries, they help the country, but not the other way. I believe about that. If you have Mexicans going to the United States, they are going to work, right? Los mexicanos van a Estados Unidos, trabajan, aportan a la sociedad, hacen crecer comunidades, and they also get some money. But when foreigners come, cuando esos tipos vienen, we could say that even their offer, la oferta de trabajo también se va en ellos, right? Because they speak English, because they are better qualified. También la educación en sus países es mejor. Entonces también se llevan parte de la oferta de trabajo. They also get they maybe don't have to work, maybe they work online, no trabajan online, entonces realmente no están aportando nada a la sociedad, we could say. But the only thing they do is to make things more expensive, pero encarecen todo a su paso. So I don't know what is worse, Mexicans migrating to the United States or them migrating here because they don't need any requirements. They don't need any visa to enter here. Los americanos no están ni visa, de hecho hasta tienen una parte cuando entran al país. They don't even need an interview, ni siquiera hay alguien que les haga un oficial que les pregunte a qué vienen al país. They only scan their passport, escanean su pasaporte y pasan. They don't need to even have an interview. And the requirements to live there are cheap. Es muy fácil vivir en México. Los trámites de migración cuando eres un americano, un europeo, that's easy, very easy. But what happens the other way around when you want to go to the United States as a tourist? Si quieres ir a Estados Unidos como turista, difficult. You want to live? Impossible. Si quieres vivir ahí, imposible, right? Unless you have a relative, menos que tengas algún familiar muy cercano, unless you have your job, a menos que sea por trabajo, que seas un inversor con mucho dinero. It's impossible to migrate to the United States in a fair way, like with things like this. And what for? Solamente para llegar y encontrarte con un estilo de vida más caro, right? Because we think, now I make more money, ahora gano mucho dinero. I have $2,500, 50,000 pesos equivalente al mes. But a third of that, un tercio de eso, o hasta incluso un cuarto de eso se te va en rentas, en la hipoteca o en la casa. And the rest is another third, otro tercio, o más para tu despensa, your groceries. So you see, I think that cost of living is very bad for residents. And I think it's happening to every city. Está pasando en todas las ciudades. Guadalajara is happening. Mexico City is happening. Cancún, it happened a long time ago. Los Cabos, the touristic places that now are, they are cities for residents. So for me, this is a bad thing. This is a bad thing because now it's making more difficult for Mexicans to live. Entonces, nuestra vida se está encareciendo por eso. I think that's a very personal belief. I think government should be more strict about this. They should be very strict. Deberían de ser más estrictos con la entrada de inmigrantes for living, not for tourism, but for living. And I think that they, like in other countries, in other countries they give preference. You go to Europe, vas a Europa, le dan preferencia a un nacional. You go to Sweden, tienes a un mexicano y un sueco, y estás en Suecia, so the company will choose the Swedish citizen. Van a preferir siempre a la persona que es de su país. And it seems in Mexico is the other way. Y parece que en México es lo contrario. Prefieren al extranjero. Always, they prefer the foreigner. So that's a bad thing that I think we need to correct, personally. Okay. I don't know if you share my thought, but I think that's something that I've seen que yo veo diariamente en unas ciudades tan gentrificadas. You go to Cancún, vas a Cancún y Cancún no es México, es una copia de lo que ves en el extranjero de Estados Unidos. You go to the hotel zone, that's not Mexico. If you want to see real Mexico, you can go to Mérida. If you want to see real Mexico, you go to Mexico City, you go to Guadalajara, you go to Puebla, right? But these cities, I see that they are super gentrified already. Okay, what else do we have here? The crime rate. Do you think it's important to tourists only, to residents only, or to both?
To both.
Both. Yeah. Okay. Very well. And why do you think it's important to both? Well, if crime rate, no one likes crime rate. You want to go on vacation, you don't want to have crime. If you go in the residence, of course, right? Okay. Cuisine, do you know cuisine? Cuisine es cocina. ¿Ya? Viene del francés. Porque kitchen es la cocina como espacio. Okay. By the way, this is a beautiful kitchen. Miren qué bonita cocina. This one is small, but okay. But look, this one, it's so beautiful. Cuisine es cocina del, I don't know, like Mexican cuisine, cocina mexicana, Italian cuisine, comida italiana. Yeah. Es la cocina como alimentos, como la variedad. No se refiere al espacio. Okay. So the cuisine, I think it's important to both, of course, important to both. And what else? Again, I think And I think the tourists don't get to enjoy the real cuisine. Again, because it's very, it's very Americanized. Todo está como muy americanizado. Entonces los restaurantes aquí son muy internacionales, pero no son así auténticamente mexicanos, you know? So, we always give the recommendation, siempre damos la recomendación que si alguien quiere venir a México para probar la comida, they go to Mexico City. We think that. Maybe there's good food in the north, quizá también hay buena comida en el norte, shrimp, seafood. Por ejemplo, los mariscos en el norte son lo mejor. Also the meat, right? All the cuts of meat, todos los cortes de carne también son buenos en el norte, right? But not the south. Aquí, la verdad, la comida no es tan buena. I mean, you can go to Yucatan, and Yucatan, they have very good things, but not really something fantastic. The food is better in the center and the north. Yeah. My opinion. Green spaces, important to tourists, to residents, or to both?
Important to both.
Important to both, yeah. It's important to have green spaces. It's very sad, right? When they don't care about these things. Es muy triste cuando no se cuidan estos aspectos de las áreas verdes. Se ve muy deprimente. Hotels, are they important to tourists or to residents?
To tourists.
To tourists, yeah. To tourists, the residents, they don't care, right, about the hotels. Okay. Job market. What do you think is job market?
I don't know, teacher.
Okay, very well. Es el mercado laboral. So important to tourists or to residents? Residents, exactly. Mostly, right? Maybe indirectly also to tourists. También podría afectar indirectamente a los turistas, pero residents, right? Okay. One thing that is sad, you know, for example, the job market sometimes is bad paid. El mercado laboral, si es mal pagado, y trabajas en el sector de servicios, restaurants, hotels. What do you need? You need a tip. Necesitas pedir propina, right? Very few times, muy pocas veces nos han exigido propina en restaurantes o algo así. But this can affect the tourists too, right? Because they need to pay extra. O sea, no solamente tienes que pagar el precio de la comida, tienes que pagar la propina. No solamente tienes que pagar el precio de tu hotel, también tienes que dejar una propina. Not only the tour, también pasa con los tours. No solamente pagas tu tour, tienes que dar propina. So this could be important for tourists. And landmarks. You know landmarks? What is the meaning of landmarks? Son como lugares conocidos, lugares turísticos, como lugares de importancia, no turísticos, pero como emblemáticos. Okay, for example, in Mexico City, you have the Revolution, lo estoy escribiendo en inglés, Monumento a la Revolución. You have Ángel de la Independencia. Right, there are so many things. And these are the landmarks. So landmarks are important to tourists only, or to residents, or to both?
To both.
Mhm. To both. To both, yeah, to both. The neighborhoods, los vecindarios, yeah. You want to have a good neighborhood. Everyone wants to have a good neighborhood and good surroundings. Nightlife, important to residents, to tourists, or to both? To tourists mainly, I would say. There are locals who want nightlife too. También hay locales que quieren la vida nocturna y la vida loca, ¿no? But mainly for tourists, I would say. Shopping. Important to tourists, important to residents. Aquí shopping no es lo mismo que cost of living, ¿ok? Shopping sería ropa, electrónicos, electrodomésticos, and other things, like maybe not that essential, not very important.
I think that is most important to residents, but I think that many tourists do not buy unnecessary things.
Very well. And I would say that it's important to both, yeah, because we all want to do some shopping from time to time. Transportation system. What do you think? Both, I think both. Yeah. If the transportation system is expensive, it affects both. All right. So what are some of the reasons that people migrate to our country? Well, one of them is climate. A los extranjeros les encanta el clima de nuestro país. What do you think is the reason people immigrate to Mexico? Immigrate to Mexico.
Cheaper cost of living.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, cheaper cost of living. We could say landmarks. They like nightlife too. Yeah. Especially Americans, American tourists, not everyone, but Americans tend to be very wasteful people. Son como muy despilfarradores. They're very wasteful. Si les dices que te paguen lo que les dices, te lo pagan. That's one thing. And they also are like the most, they have one thing, como que son muy, not everyone, of course, but they are very, Americans are Americans. You compare to other tourists, they like nightlife too much. Les encanta, por ejemplo, la fiesta. Y I think that also like this thing, like spending too much money. Son los turistas que más gastan dinero de todos. Canadians, Europeans, Americans are the ones spending the most of the money. Okay, so also could be for nightlife, right? Okay, now we have this other vocabulary that help you describe towns. For example, we have a border town, coastal town, cosas que nos ayudan a describir. Town is like general, puede referirse a una ciudad, a un pueblito pequeño, doesn't matter. So we have first the border town. What is the meaning of border town? A border town is near a border with another state or country. For example, Tijuana. For example, I don't know, Ciudad Juárez. Yeah, those are border towns. Coastal town. Coastal town, it's a town that is close to the coast. Which ones are they?
Sorry, what is the, how do you pronounce the coastal o cómo?
Coastal.
Oh.
Coastal town. What do you think? Can you give me an example of a coastal town?
Un pueblo costero, un pueblo en la costa.
For example,
Puerto Progreso. I don't know.
yeah, good. Puerto Progreso, very well. Huatulco, Tulum, yeah, coastal towns. College town. This is, in Mexico, we will have like CU, ¿no? CU, Ciudad Universitaria. Aunque no es realmente como tal, pero existen muchos lugares, por ejemplo, Cambridge, es la Universidad de Cambridge, pues es todo un, this is a whole town, es una ciudad completa. But most of it, pero la razón principal, pues la gente la destina para estudiar, right? We could say also Oxford. Oxford es donde está la Universidad de Oxford. Pero mayoritariamente, pues, no hay otro propósito de esta ciudad que para las universidades. Where is it? Okay, bueno, por aquí está Cambridge. Por aquí está Oxford. Yeah. And near me for schools. Okay, industrial town. Una ciudad industrial o un pueblo industrial. Bueno, no puede ser pueblo, creo que industrial town. For example, we think about the United States, you have Detroit, más en el pasado, ya no tanto, pero Detroit is used to be an industrial town. Lifeline. Yeah. Mountain town. In Mexico, what is a mountain town?
My town,
Really? What is your town?
really. It's Jicotepec, Puebla. It's in the Sierra.
Xicotepec?
Ajá. Es-
Xicotepec de Juárez.
Ajá. Jicotepec de Juárez.
Wow. I like Puebla.
Yes, me too.
Okay, this very close is okay, very well. So that is, for example, a mountain town. I could think about Orizaba, Veracruz, right? Orizaba is to very well. How about a port town?
Veracruz, Manzanillo,
Very well. So that's the key, right? Puede ser que no se confundan con coastal town, porque por ejemplo Tulum no tiene un puerto como para que lleguen barcos cargueros, ¿no? So the port town is Veracruz, very well. Manzanillo, you said? Mazatlan, yeah. Well, so port towns have the capacity to keep ships moving, like containers, like big ones. A resort town.
Cancun.
Cancun, yeah.
Los Cabos.
Los Cabos, and they can be not only next to the beach, they can be, for example, mountain towns. I don't know. I think in Mexico our attractions are the beaches, but I don't know. You can go, for example, to think about Andorra. Andorra is a country, but it's more a resort country. Este es un país que que vive del turismo, ¿no? Okay. So Andorra has it doesn't have beach, no tiene playas, pero tiene montañas, right? So this is touristic attraction. Este también sería resort town. So resort towns doesn't matter if it's beaches or mountains, yeah. Rural town, bueno, cualquier pueblito que nos imaginemos de México, ¿no? Any rural town, que digamos magic town, ¿no? Un pueblito mágico, or could be the rural town. Suburban town, un pueblo, será como una ciudad, son como los suburbios, right? We can think, for example, about Ecatepec. We can think about I don't know, more towns, but when there is a city and these ones are around, video, extranjera desea vivir en Ecatepec por lo colorido de las casas. Okay. Tourist town. Well, this is kind of the same, right? We could say resort town, tourist town, they are very similar. Resort town, you have many like action activities. Tienes muchas actividades de acción, right? Tourist town is more to rest, más para descansar. It's more for, you can also visit places, but resort town, pues tienen generalmente estos resort hotels, hoteles que se llaman resort hotels, big hotels and big activities. Okay, well, tomorrow we continue talking about this. Thank you so much for joining today.